Hey guys, it's Ken Keene Jr., Tough Kenamon's son. I'm sure you have seen me in the video series, and if you're new to the channel, well, I'm on this journey with my father, and my father has frontal temporal lobe dementia. So, thank you for subscribing, and please share your comments and share the videos if you wish. And there's hopefully there's something for everyone. The goal here is to try to raise awareness and share my experience with my father, with those who could use some of what it is that we're going through to help them with their situation with their loved one with dementia. It's not an easy road to travel, and to go at it alone, it's just that much harder. And it's very physically and emotionally and mentally taxing, and it could just take you under in no time. So your well-being is very, very important, and that's one of my concerns, being that I was a caregiver and still am to some degree. I know what it entails and how exhausting it is, and if you're not careful and you're not taking care of yourself, you could easily hurt yourself and become a victim yourself. So that's the idea of this video today. I wanted to share an experience that I had about 10 years, or maybe about 12 years ago, and it had to do with my health. And I find this experience just might help you with your experience, and may help you with making better decisions so that you can perform better, so you feel better about yourself, and you can be more productive as a caregiver, and just in society as a person. But I'd say about 12 years ago, I was putting in about 60 to 80 hours a week, hours behind a computer. And while doing that, I basically put my health on the back burner. And that was unlike me, because for many years I was always working out and was always like conscious of some of the foods that I would eat. I wasn't perfect, but at least I was active, and I was making an attempt to stay somewhat healthy. Well, working 60 to 80 hours a week, I was creating this fishing website. It was a virtual fishing competition that was online, and I was running it by myself for a number of years. And during that time, I noticed some changes in not only my appearance, but how I felt. And after doing that for a number of years, I had to go to the doctors. I mean, I would go annually to get my checkup, but this one year it was it was a must. And I knew there was something going on. I figured my cholesterol was probably getting higher, my blood pressure, because just before I went to the VA to get my blood checked, I noticed there was a pain in my neck, and it was scary because I located it, pinpointed it, and the sensation was telling me it's my carotid artery. So basically what's happening was, from living that kind of lifestyle where I was eating trash, not sleeping right, and not doing any kind of activity, my body started working harder just to pump blood. Just from sitting there, my arteries were working harder to deliver the blood throughout the body. And as a result, I was getting this pain in my neck, which is pretty scary considering at the time I was only in my mid-30s. Now, I know what I'm predisposed to, and that is heart disease. And my father had a heart attack years later, and my grandmother passed away in her sleep at the young age of, I think it was 62 maybe, or 61. It's way too young. But I was like thinking to myself, I can't go out like this. So, being that I was in this condition, I decided, you know what, let me go to the doctors. I had my blood drawn and was checked, and lo and behold, my cholesterol was up from the previous test, which was about a year prior to that. So I was hovering around like 200, which isn't super high, but it's borderline, and that's considerably a considerable change considering that I was around like 140, 150 just prior to that. And then before that, it was a little bit lower. But my blood pressure was up. I was about 143 over 90, so that's like uh, hypertension. It's a condition which could lead to stroke or heart attack, and that was pretty scary. When you get those results, it pretty much confirms where you're at. And I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in that position. So I decided right then and there, like a light switch, make the change. I know what I needed to do. So what I did was I went back to my roots. And my roots are going back to the gym. So I went back to the gym. And I remember the first couple of weeks, it was very, very hard for me. And just doing a couple of sets of any exercise, I noticed I was turning purple. And that's how out of shape I was at the time. And but I knew it was just part of the process. I knew that I had to just let it run its course and just keep pushing and pushing and let the weeks, the months go by, and eventually that'll all subside, and it did. I also made drastic changes to my food intake. So my first plan of attack was to correct my first meal of the day, my breakfast. And that is, and still today, I eat the same meal. I boil 6 eggs, and I eat 2 whole eggs, and the rest are just egg whites. So of the 6 eggs, I'm only eating 2 egg whites, or eating 2 whole eggs. With that, I'll have some whole grain oats, maybe like 3/4 of a cup, something like that. But it's just whole grain. I'll heat up some water in the microwave, and just add it to the bowl of oatmeal, and that's it. So basically, I'm getting some really good clean carbohydrates. It's all fiber, so it's not taxing on the body. The body can easily utilize that as energy and convert it and metabolize that. And the eggs, I mean, they're phenomenal. Basically, the eggs, too, what they'll do for you is they'll give you that feeling of fullness. And you won't be binging or craving in the morning for anything, because that particular type of food, it really satisfies your hunger and satisfies your body and your needs. So I made those changes, and I have not looked back ever since. And I'd have to say that was in my mid-30s. I'm actually now 46, and I'm in phenomenal condition. I mean, yes, I still binge a little bit, and I eat some crap. But the only reason I'm able to do that, I try to moderate it, and doing that combined with the exercise, it allows me to enjoy the foods that I want to eat. But it's important that what calories you put in, you're burning those calories too, which will afford you that type of lifestyle, so you can eat a little bit of pizza and eat a little bit of this or that or whatever you want. But you have to moderate it, and that's one of the key things in life. Moderation goes for everything. But back then, I had a little bit of a scare, and I knew what I had to do to change my life. And I'm glad I did, because I don't know if I would either be here to see my dad through these trying times and help him, or if I was going to be physically up for it. I might be on synthetic drugs myself, just walking around with barely holding on with the help of these synthetic drugs. That's not a place that I wanted to be. That's not a quality of life. So thankfully, what happened to me, I had this major adversity occur, and I made a change because of it. So it was a blessing in disguise. But what I'm driving at here, and the point that I'm trying to drive home, is try to make some better decisions for yourself. You might not be happy with where you're at in life as far as your physical well-being, because believe me, if you start making these changes now, other things will follow along. You will start feeling mentally better, mentally sharper. You'll start resting easier. You won't be so winded. You'll have more energy. You'll be just a lot more alive, and you'll appreciate life and enjoy life, and you'll feel like you have more purpose. And when you feel that way, then you're able to do more for your loved one. You're able to do more for people in general, and for yourself, for that matter. And that's very key. And that's part of what it is to live life. So, yeah, making decisions. And it just starts whenever you decide to make the decision. It's a gradual process. And there's a big picture to all of this. So it's slow and steady, and but being committed. And before you know it, you'll see in weeks or months, years, some an incredible evolution on your part, and it's very, very rewarding. It's satisfying, and it'll be an incredible experience for you, and it just makes you stronger. And then you'll be an influence on other people's lives, and it's a tremendous story to tell. So I'm proud of what I had gone through, and maybe I survived something. Maybe I just had a heart attack waiting around the corner for me. You never know, because I mean, you hear about it all the time. People so young passing on because they just neglected their well-being because of their poor lifestyle. But I'm glad that I didn't succumb to that, and I'm here today still to help out with what's going on, especially in my father's life. And I got to experience some of the things I did in the past 10, 12 years. So, yeah, if you have any comments that you wish to share, leave them down below. You have questions, anything that you think I might be able to help you with, please put it there. I'll get back to you immediately. I'm pretty prompt with my replies. And remember, guys, we have a Facebook page too, The Journey with Tough Kinaman. Just search it out, and you'll find us. It's there's no mystery there. It's an easy, straightforward shot. Or you'll see up at the banner on the YouTube page the little Facebook icon. We also have an Instagram and a Twitter page as well. If you wish to be followers of that, we'd love to have you. But thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the next video.